In this video, I'm spotlighting an overlooked card from Magic's history and finding the perfect commanders to turn it into a table-warping menace. Today's card is Equipoise from Visions. Fair warning, if you play this card, there's a very good chance you'll become the archenemy at the table. Equipoise triggers at the beginning of your upkeep and compares your boards to a chosen opponent. If they control more lands, creatures or artifacts than you do, the excess get phased out until your next turn. Next up, ramp hard, flood the board with creatures or lean on artifacts, fill this immediately, while low permanent, control-focused strategies barely notice it at all. And in a format where most decks are built to accumulate resources as quickly as possible, Equipoise punishes that assumption harder than almost any modern card would dare to. The ideal home for Equipoise is a deck that deliberately stays light on permanents or can operate while opponents temporarily lose access to theirs. When you build to break the symmetry, this unassuming enchantment stops being fair very quickly and starts deciding who actually gets to play the game. My first pick is the War Doctor. Equipoise phases an opponent's excess lands, creatures, and artifacts until your next upkeep, and every single one of those cards leaving counts as a time counter for the War Doctor. While one of your opponents is locked out of resources for a full turn cycle, the War Doctor is quietly charging up. Equipoise reads at the beginning of your upkeep. This is a triggered ability. If you select Adric, Mathematical Genius, as the War Doctor's companion, then Adric lets you copy that triggered ability. Instead of keeping one player in check, you can now target two opponents every upkeep, stripping resources across most of the table at once. Every permanent that leaves and returns also feeds the War Doctor with time counters, quietly turning this control piece into a looming win condition. With Adric doubling the trigger, Equipoise stops being a political tool and starts being a table-wide problem. My next pick is Yenna, Red Tooth Regent. Yenna can copy non-legendary enchantments, and copying Equipoise is where things escalate quickly. With two copies on the battlefield, you're no longer choosing a single opponent each upkeep. You're targeting multiple opponents, phasing excess lands, creatures, and artifacts across the table at the same time. Because Equipoise rewards you for staying light on permanents, Yenna can keep her own board minimal while doubling down on disruption. In this shell, Equipoise stops being a surgical control piece and turns into a wide-reaching resource squeeze that few decks are built to withstand. Planeswalkers are notably absent from Equipoise's list of effective permanents, and Commodore Guffey is more than happy to exploit that. While your opponents lose access to excess lands, creatures, and artifacts for a full turn cycle, your planeswalkers stay right where they are, ticking up uninterrupted. Duff naturally encourages a low creature, low board commitment playstyle, which makes it easy to keep Equipoise asymmetrical. In this shell, Equipoise isn't just disruption, it's protection, buying your walkers the time they need to take over the game. My final pick is Lavinia Azorius Renegade. Lavinia punishes players who ramp with creatures or artifacts rather than lands, limiting the mana value of non-creature spells they can cast based on the number of lands they control. Paired with Equipoise, that restriction becomes much more severe. Temporarily exiling your opponent's lands, creatures, and artifacts makes it extremely difficult for them to play the game at all. Keep your own board lean, and every land drop, artifact, and creature your opponents play becomes a potential mistake. Together, they turn resource advantage into a liability and make every attempt to act freely a calculated risk. So there you have it, four commanders that turn Equipoise from an obscure Visions era enchantment to a full-blown control piece. Whether you're charging up the War Doctor, copying it with Yenna, protecting Planeswalkers with Gus, or punishing fast mana with Lavinia, Equipoise proves that getting ahead on resources is a risk, not a reward. If you're looking to keep the table honest and don't mind being the arch enemy, Equipoise is absolutely worth revisiting.